What if the person you love more than anyone in the world was suddenly declared off limits? Not by society, not by law, but by the very people who were supposed to support your happiness. This is a story about two love stories on a collision course and a battle to decide which one deserves to survive. Welcome to Reddit Overheard Stories. Today's story is a wild ride, an account from a young man who found himself in a romantic drama so bizarre, it sounds like it's straight out of a movie. I'll be sharing his story in his own words. My relationship with Noah was the best thing that had ever happened to me. For 18 months, she was my entire world. We clicked in a way I'd never experienced before. Loving her felt as natural as breathing. We were both young, just figuring things out, but we knew one thing for sure. We were in this for the long haul. My dad knew I had a serious girlfriend, and her mom knew she had a serious boyfriend. The next logical step was the dreaded meet the parents. We decided to do it all at once. A casual dinner at my dad's place. The evening started perfectly. I remember the nervous energy, the excitement. Noah and her mom arrived, and I introduced them to my dad. For a split second, everything was fine. And then I saw it. The flicker of recognition in my dad's eyes. The way Noah's mom's smile faltered, replaced by a look of utter shock. A heavy, awkward silence fell over the room. It turned out my dad and Noah's mom already knew each other very well. They had been dating for the past few months, a fact they had both conveniently kept from us. The casual dinner instantly turned into an emergency summit. The warmth evaporated, replaced by a cold, tense atmosphere. My dad and Noah's mom weren't angry about the secrecy. They were angry at the coincidence. They were angry at us. "You two need to end this," my dad said, his voice flat and serious. Noah's mom nodded in agreement. "We're serious about our relationship," she said, "and this is just too weird. It makes things complicated." I looked at Noah, and I could see the same disbelief and defiance in her eyes. I took her hand. "We're not breaking up for you," I said, my voice shaking slightly. I turned to my dad. "I love her. I'm not going to break up with the girl I love for some dumb, logistical reason." That was the day the war began. My dad and Noah's mom launched a full-scale psychological campaign to make our lives a living hell. Their main weapon was the word sibling. They started calling us brother and sister in public. At family events, my dad would introduce us with a smug grin. "This is my son, and this is Noah, my future stepdaughter." The goal was to shame us, to make us feel weird and incestuous for holding hands, for sharing a kiss. But it had the opposite effect. Every time they tried to push us apart, we held on tighter. Our affection became an act of rebellion. They escalated their tactics. They started talking loudly about trying IVF to have a baby together, a new real sibling that would make our relationship even more wrong. Then, the awkwardness reached a new level when they found out that Noah and I had been each other's first. The look of horror on their faces was almost comical. They had wanted to keep us apart, but they were too late. Our bond was already deeper than they could imagine. They delayed moving in together, hoping the distance would break us. When that didn't work, they decided to move in anyway, thinking the forced sibling dynamic of living under the same roof would finally do the trick. It didn't. We were still us. We were still in love. So they played their trump card. They got engaged. They thought a wedding, the ultimate symbol of their union, would be the final blow to ours. They sat us down, more persistent than ever. "You cannot be dating at our wedding," her mom said. "This has to end before next summer." But I don't feel weird. Noah is not my sister. She will never be my sister. And even if my dad marries her mom, that woman will be his wife, not my family in the way they think it. So, to get back at them, Noah decided to fight fire with fire. A few weeks ago, during another tense family dinner, she casually announced that we were thinking of eloping as soon as we both turn 18 in a few months. My dad is a hard man to rattle. He just stared blankly. But her mom, she exploded. "You're sick," she screamed, her face red with rage. "You're disgusting. Our relationship, a real, adult relationship, should take priority over yours." And there it was. The truth, finally out in the open. Her mom didn't think our love was weird. She thought it was competition. She believed her happiness was more important than her own daughter's. So now we're at a stalemate. two couples in a bizarre standoff. It makes you ask, are we the assholes for refusing to sacrifice our love for their convenience? In this strange war between two relationships, who has the right to demand the other one ends? Let me know your verdict in the comments.